If mental illness makes life harder, if it lowers happiness, focus, and sometimes even threatens survival, then why does it still exist? Wouldn't natural selection remove all bad traits? In ancient times, people with mental problems should have had a lower chance to survive. They should have died before reproducing. So, today, mental illness should be gone, right? That's how we usually think. Weak traits disappears, useful traits stay. That's how evolution works. So here's the real question. Why did evolution keep mental illness? Most people think evolution tries to create healthy and happy humans. That's not true. Evolution only cares about one thing. Does the system continue? Does the gene continue? It does not select for happiness. It does not select for emotional comfort. If traits does not completely stop reproduction, it can stay, even if it causes suffering. Another common mistake is thinking that mental illness works like a switch. You either have mental illness or you don't. That's not how it works. Mental illness exists on a spectrum. Same genes that causes illness at one end creates useful traits at the other. For example, people prone to depression often have deeper emotional awareness. People close to psychosis often have stronger imagination. And people that is on the autism spectrum often focus deeply on their own work and system. Problems appear when the traits are pushed too far. Evolution does not remove an entire range of traits just because the extreme end is painful. So, what were these traits for? Let's start with depression-related traits. People with those kinds of traits thinks more deeply about failure, avoids risk, and slow down when things go wrong. In early human life, this reduced danger. Overconfidence killed people. Caution kept people alive. There are also bipolar-related traits. This includes high energy, strong drive, and creativity. In small groups, this often means leadership. Those people explore more, they create more, and then they can push the entire group forward. The problem today is not energy swing. The problem is a world that never allows to rest. Then there are schizophrenia and the schizophrenia spectrum traits. At low level, this includes strong pattern recognition, symbolic thinking, and search for meaning constantly. Religion, myth, and mathematics and philosophy all come from this mental edge. Without those traits, we might still be breaking rocks and hunting in African desert. But when pushed too far, meaning turns into noise, and the person becomes dysfunctional. There are also autism spectrum traits. This includes extreme focus and rule-based thinking, low sensitivity to social distraction or any distraction at all. They are always just focused on one thing that they care about. Civilization needs people like this to build, to observe, and to think about the system. Without them, the complex tool and knowledge will not last. So, what is the real problem? Parts of mental illness comes from genes, but another major part comes from environment. Humans' brain evolved for small group with clear purpose and a lot of physical movement with limited information. But modern life is completely the opposite. You have constant noise coming from your surroundings, and there is endless comparison. Social isolation is everywhere, people are getting more and more lonely, and your goal for your life is getting more and more abstract. Your genes did not change, at least not as fast as the pace that the society is changing. The world did change much faster than your genetic. Traits that once helped survival now creates stress and breakdown. So why does evolution allow all these kinds of pain? The answer is actually quite simple. Because evolution does not protect individuals, it protects the system. A system can accept suffering if it gains creativity, if it gains adaptability. And long-term survival is the key term that it thinks about. A few unstable mind can move the whole group forward. And that is not conventionally kind, but it works very well. So let's redefine this state of mental illness. Mental illness is not always a defect. Often, it is useful traits pushed too far. A mismatch between the mind and the world. We did not evolve illness. We evolved useful tools. And then we placed those tools in the wrong environment. And mental illness is not a proof that evolution has failed. It may be a proof that we are living on the edge of what our mind were built for. In the times of the future, I don't believe this will get anywhere better. Anyways, this is the topic of another video. Thank you very much for watching this one. See you on the next one.